I'm Rachel. I'm an instructor here at the Keller Point. This class that I'm going to do for you is a yoga class. A lot of times I get questions about what kind of yoga do you teach. The kind of yoga I generally teach in a gym setting is a mix between a vinyasa and hatha class. I try to get a little bit of everything in between balance, stretching, and strength. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and begin. So I'm going to start seated in the center of my mat with my legs crossed. And your palms can be down or up, it's up to you. I'm going to lengthen through my spine and roll the shoulders back and down. And we're going to close our eyes. So at the beginning of each yoga class, I really want to take some time to get grounded and to get focused. So what I mean by that is that in everyday life, we have a lot of clutter going on in our brain and our body, and especially right now. So we want to just take this time to take some deep breaths. And in yoga, we're going to breathe in and out through our nose, unless you're congested. So we'll inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. As we inhale, we want to allow the belly and ribcage and chest to expand. And as we exhale, we pull the belly button in and contract. So just taking several deep, mindful breaths. Clearing the clutter in our mind. Becoming present. So that means we're not thinking about the future or the past. We're present in this moment. And we'll do our best throughout this class to come back to this presence. If you notice your mind wandering, or your breathing pattern changing, or holding your breath, just coming back to this deep mindful breath. This presence of mind. So when you're ready, we're going to begin class. We're going to open our eyes and begin with some shoulder rolls. So we're creating this nice range of motion through the shoulder joint. We're bringing the shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Good. Let's do one more shoulder roll. I'm going to cup my hands and bring the hands behind me. So my chest is open, my shoulder blades pressing down the back, chin lifted, mouth closed. And then we're going to gently bring chin back to neutral, bring hands in front. I'm going to gently tuck the chin, walking hands out as far as you can. Slowly walking hands back. I'm going to bring my hands by my side. We're going to reach right arm up. I'm going to open through the rib cage, gently side bend. So I'm pressing that right hip down. I'm reaching all the way through my fingertips. Good. And I'm going to gently stretch my neck. Nice and soft. And release. Left arm opening through rib cage, gently leaning. I'm pressing my left hip into the mat. Gently stretching the neck. So I'm going to repeat that sequence. And release. So cupping hands, opening chest, lifting chin. Gently bringing chin back to neutral, walking out in front. Walking hands back by our sides. Reaching right arm up. Opening. And coming into your side bend. So in your side bend, I'm going to grab a quick drink of water. And then coming into your neck stretch. And release. Left arm opening, reaching. Again, I'm grounding through that left hip. And then gently stretching. ground through my hands. So for me, and generally, we want to keep the fingertips pointing forward, but it just really depends on your wrists. I'm going to ground through my hands, engage the glutes, lift the hips, looking up towards ceiling. Gently lowering hips. Now I'm going to clasp my hands behind the back. So notice my palms are close together. I want to keep them close together. I'm going to tuck my chin and fold forward. And then gently lifting back center. I'm going to release hands. Here I'm going to push up onto all fours. So when you come up onto all fours, I'm going to call this a tabletop here. Shoulders come directly over wrists. We make our starfish hands, and our hips are lined up over knees. So knees and feet are about hip distance apart. We're going to come into our cat and cow. We're going to inhale, drop chest, lift chin. Exhale, round, pull the belly button in. Inhale, pressing shoulder blades together. Exhale, rounding, pulling shoulder blades apart. Inhale, we're dropping. Exhale, lifting. Inhale, so we're expanding through the rib cage. Exhale, rounding, pulling that rib cage in. Good, one more, inhale. Exhale, round. Good, so coming into a neutral spine. Everybody's spine is going to be a little bit different. We're engaging through the core, so I'm pulling my belly button in, and we're going to practice spinal balance, reaching right arm forward, bicep by the ear, reaching left leg back. I'm reaching through the heel. I want you to notice my hip position. Our tendency is to do this and open. I want you to close that hip, point the toes towards the floor. And we're going to release and switch to the other side. Left bicep by ear, reach the right leg back, foot flexed. So just finding, feeling what that feels like. Release, and then we're going to flow from side to side with our breath. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower. Good. So go at your own pace. Okay, whatever feels more natural to you. If you'd like to go a little bit slower, I wouldn't suggest going too fast. We are doing yoga, so we want to stay mindful of what we're doing with our body and what's going on in our mind. So again, we're trying to stay present. Let's do about 2 more on each side. Good. Noticing your breath, matching your breath to the movement. And once you've completed that second cycle, we'll sit the hips back into our child's pose. So arms are stretched out in front of us. Nice deep breath here. We're going to lift up to hands and knees again. So this time I'm going to walk my hands forward a little bit and shift my weight forward. So I'm in a kneeling plank. My belly button is lifted. So I want you to be really careful here. Our tendency is to release through the shoulders or release through the hips. And we want to stay really mindful of our proper alignment here. So elbows are going to come to my ribs for a chaturanga, and then we're going to push up and back to child's pose. Let's do 4 more of those. So a kneeling plank, chaturanga, push up, and back. In a chaturanga, our elbows come to the ribs. Good, and then we sit back into our child's pose. Generally, we want those elbows to come directly out from shoulders when we're at the bottom of our chaturanga. Last one. Good, now we're going to add our little baby cobra. So kneeling plank, chaturanga, we do a little baby cobra. So in our little baby cobra, we're going to press the tops of the feet into our mat, lift chin, chest, engage the back. So I'm not putting any weight in my hands. And then we release and sit the hips back to child's pose. Let's do that 4 more times. Kneeling plank, chaturanga, lowering to that little baby cobra. So I'm not worried about your back bend here. We're just warming up those back muscles. Good. And lifting chin, chest, engaging those glutes. Sitting back into child's pose. We have 2 more. Kneeling plank, chaturanga, lower to mat, lifting chest, engaging glutes. Releasing, sitting hips back into our child's pose. And one more, kneeling plank. Chaturanga, lowering to mat, lifting chin, chest, engaging back and glutes, releasing, sitting hips back into child's pose. And we are ready for our first down dog. So remembering starfish hands, feet stay hip distance apart, and we're going to tuck the toes, lift the hips up for down dog. And in our down dog, we're going to go for a walk, toe to heel. Good, so we're just loosening up those muscles in the lower leg. If you're tight in those hamstrings or low back, you might need to just keep the knees a little bent the whole time you're in your down dog. Okay, everybody's gonna look different in every pose. Good, we're gonna press both heels to the mat, pressing the chest towards the legs. I'm gonna rock forward into my plank. We're gonna do a few of those transitions just to kind of test it out. So plank, shoulders over wrist, core engaged, then we lift the hips, go back to down dog. So the transition is fairly smooth, and we're gonna walk it out again. Chin is tucked. We always, when we're hanging upside down like this, I want you to make sure you're relaxing your head and neck, okay? So that you're not creating any tension. I'm gonna fix my mic. You guys stay where you're at. And we're going to press both heels to the mat, rock forward into our plank. Good. So we're going to do that 2 times. Plank, down dog, just shifting. Good. And then coming back to our plank. And then lifting hips back up for down dog. Good. We're going to walk feet forward to our hands. So we're in our forward fold. So just remembering that if our hamstrings are tight, we might need to keep those knees bent. We're going to bring hands to our hips and then hinge up to standing. Good. So hinging is super important in our yoga practice. Inhale. Exhale, flat back fold. Half lift, flat back. And round. Arms are stretched out, and we're going to float up to standing. Inhale. And we're going to circle those arms back, open the shoulders, sit the hips back into our chair. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Half lift, flat back. And round. Arms stretched out, we're hinging up to standing. Inhale. Circling back, sitting hips back, weight all the way back into your heels. Inhale. Exhale, folding. Half lift, flat back. And round. Good. Arms stretched out, flat back. Floating up to standing. Inhale. Reaching those arms back, opening the shoulders, sitting the hips back. Good. Let's do that a couple more times. Good. Remembering our breath. Inhale as we lift. Exhale as we fold. Arms stretched out, hinge up to standing. Inhale. Circling back, sitting hips back. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Half lift. And round. Arms stretched out, hinging up to standing. Inhale. Exhale, sitting back in a chair. Let's hold this chair. Let's lift the right heel. Toward the ball of the foot. Lower. Lift the left heel. Lower. Inhale, reach. Exhale, flat back folds. We're going to stay in this forward fold this time. And I want you to come onto the ball of the right foot and bend the knee. And we're going to straighten that right knee. So I'm kind of pushing my hips a little bit. Then I'm going to switch. And switch. Okay? We're going to do it a few times on each side. So we're just kind of, I want you to really notice what's going on with those hips and hamstrings. Now I'm going to keep my heels grounded, and I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, noticing the difference. Maybe we're feeling a little tight in those hips or hamstrings. Maybe they're feeling good. Wherever they're at, just honoring where they're at and being mindful of that throughout class. Good. I'm going to bring both knees into a gentle bend. Arms stretched out. Hinge up to standing. Inhale. Exhale, circle back, sit back. Lift that right heel. And lower left heel. and lower. Inhale. Exhale. Left arm down. Reach up. So we're opening here and we're going to push our hips to the right. Engaging the glutes, engaging the quads. And back center, left arm. Opening, leaning, pressing hips. And coming back center, we're going to clasp hands behind the back, open chest, bend the knees, tuck the chin, fold forward. Enjoy that shoulder stretch. Good. Gently lift back to standing, releasing the hands. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, flat back, fold. Bringing hands to the mat, I'm going to step my left foot back, drop to my left knee, and untuck my toes for a low lunge. So here I want my front knee over ankle. And I'm engaging my left quad and glute. Good, so I'm in that low lunge. Now I'm going to walk my hands back. I have to adjust my foot a little bit. I'm going to come into this hamstring stretch. Notice your hips. Notice how those hamstrings feel. They might feel tight. We're still warming up. And we're going to walk forward, bend into that knee again. Good. So bring hands to the mat. We're going to tuck the left toes, lift the knee, step back into our down dog. And we're going to rock forward into our plank. Good. So we're going to drop to knees and untuck the toes and do a kneeling plank. Chaturanga. Lowering to mat. We're going to lift chin, chest, engage the glutes. Release. And we're going to sit those hips back into our child's pose. Good. Nice deep breath. Lifting to all fours, tucking toes, lifting hips up for down dog. And we're going to lift that right leg up, maybe even open the hip a little bit. And we're going to take a big step forward all the way to the front of the mat, right and left. Inhale, reaching arms overhead. Exhale, sitting hips back in a chair. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Hands to the mat. We're going to step that right foot back, drop to the right knee for a low lunge. So again, just finding your low lunge. Knee over ankle. Engaging that right quad and glute. Walking hands back, straightening the leg. We might need to adjust a little bit. Noticing the hips. Good, flexing those toes up. Walking forward, hands to the mat. And we're going to tuck the right toes, lift the knee, step back into down dog. Good. Let's rock forward into our plank. Gently lower to knees. Tuck the toes. Chaturanga. Lowering to mat. Small baby cobra. Release. Sitting hips back into child's pose. Lifting to all fours. Tucking toes. Lifting hips. Down dog. And we'll lift that left leg up. Big step forward. Left and right. Inhale. Exhale, sitting hips back in the chair. Okay, so now we're ready for our sun salutations. We're going to take a nice deep breath in. Inhale, reaching arms overhead. Exhale, fold. We're going to step the left foot back into runner's lunge. Really engage that left quad and glute. Tuck the chin, lift the hips. We're going to step back, down dog. Rocking forward, plank. Chaturanga, up dog, lifting hips, tucking toes, down dog. Now you're thinking, do I have to do all that? No, of course not. You can be doing the modified version I showed you before this. We're going to lift the right leg, and we're going to step forward, right and left. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, sitting back in the chair. Inhale. Exhale, fold. We're going to step back, right foot, runner's lunge. So what could you do instead? You could do kneeling lunge. Stepping back, down dog. Rocking forward, plank. You could also do kneeling plank. Chaturanga. Up dog, or you could do a cobra. And then lifting hips, tucking toes, down dog. We're going to lift the left leg. Take a big step forward. left and right. Inhale, reaching arms overhead. Exhale, sitting hips back in the chair. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Stepping back, left foot, runner's lunge. Stepping back, right foot, down dog. Rocking forward plank. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Lifting hips, tucking toes, down dog. Lifting the right leg. Stepping forward, right and left. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, sitting hips back in the chair. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Stepping back, right foot. Runner's lunge. Stepping back, left, down dog. Good. Noticing those heels. Seeing if they're getting close to the mat, if those legs are loosening up a little bit. Rocking forward plank. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. And then lifting hips, tucking toes, down dog again. Notice those heels. Lifting left leg. Stepping forward, left and right. Inhale. Exhale, sitting hips back in the chair. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Stepping back, left. Good. First, that runner's lunge. Stepping back, right, down dog. Rocking forward plank. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Lifting hips, tucking toes, down dog. Lifting right leg. Stepping forward, right and left. Inhale. Exhale, sitting hips back in the chair. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Stepping back, right. Runner's lunge. Stepping back, left, down dog. Rocking forward plank. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Lifting hips, tucking toes, down dog. Lifting the left leg. Stepping forward, left and right. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, sitting hips back in the chair. Inhale. Exhale, fold. So we're going to hold this forward fold for a couple breaths here. I'm going to turn and look to my right, reach my right arm up. A little bit of a twist. Good, nice deep breath. Gently untwist, turn and look left, reach the left arm up. Good, gently untwist. Relax the head and neck, arms stretched out. Hinge up to standing, inhale. Exhale, sitting back in a chair. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Good, so I'm going to step back with my left foot. Okay, I'm going to drop my left heel for a warrior one. Bringing hands to hips. So I want you to notice my foot position. My left foot's towards the edge of the mat, my right foot's towards the other edge of the mat. I'm bending into my right knee, hips squared. Pressing the outer edge of my foot into the mat. This is our warrior one. Reaching arms overhead, shoulder blades pressing down the back. Good. So we want to feel really strong in this pose. We're going to take a couple deep breaths here. Good. I'm going to come into cow face arms here. So I'm going to bend my left elbow. Right arm comes under, reaching for fingertips. So cow face arms in warrior one. Good. What are those legs doing? So we want to be mindful of what's happening here. We're strengthening this right leg. Good. Remembering our breath. In and out through the nose. Good. We're going to unwrap arms, clasp hands behind the head, open chest, tuck the chin, fold forward into our humble warrior. We're going to really scoop those abs up and away from the thigh. Just kind of notice what's going on there. Good. We're going to gently lift to standing. Release the hands, come into reverse warrior. Back hand, back of the leg. Reach that right arm up, palm facing back, chin lifted. How is this thigh feeling right now? It should still be working. We're going to windmill the hands down. Step back into plank. Lift the hips up for down dog. Okay, so you have two options here. You can hang out in down dog or child's pose, or you can do your 2 half series, okay? So So I always give you options. If you need a break, you need some water, do that now. Or you can do 2 half series coming into plank, chaturanga, up dog, and down dog. And again, back to plank, chaturanga, up dog, and down dog. Good. So, if you took a break, let's come back to down dog. We're gonna lift up this left leg. We're gonna take a big step forward. We're gonna come towards the outer edge of our mat. Drop that right heel. Come into our warrior one on the other side. So again, take your time to find your warrior one, okay? Bending into that knee. Back foot's turned in. We're gonna reach those arms up, shoulder blades pressing down back. Good, and generally we want this knee over ankle, okay? Good, so nice, strong warrior one. You should feel this quad working. So this time, right elbow bent, left arm comes underneath. Good, so finding your cow face arms on the other side. And you're gonna notice a difference from side to side. You'll probably be tighter on one side versus the other, or weaker on one side versus the other. And that's what we're working on, creating balance in the body. Let's release those arms and we'll clasp the hands behind the back, open chest, tucking the chin, folding into our humble warrior, staying really grounded through both feet. Breathing in and out through the nose, scooping those abs up and away from your thigh. Notice if you're just using your thigh as a resting object. And we'll gently lift up to standing. I'm going to keep this warrior one position, palm facing the back of the room for reverse warrior. Good, remembering your breath. And we'll windmill our hands to the mat, step back, plank. Lift the hips up for down dog. So again, you have an option here. You can take a break or you can work some more. You're always at choice. So if you're gonna work with me, we're gonna come into our plank, chaturanga, up dog, and down dog. Rocking forward back into our plank, chaturanga, up dog, everything's nice and tight. Lifting hips, tucking toes, down dog. Good. So if you chose to take a break, we are going to meet in our down dog. We're gonna lift that right leg up to the ceiling. Take a big step forward, right and left. Inhale, reaching arms overhead. Exhale, bringing hands to heart center. So now we're gonna do some pyramid work. I think I'm gonna come off my mat. I like to do my balancing work off of the mat. So we're still gonna keep the feet hip distance apart. I'm gonna step my left foot back. My hips are square. Good. We're gonna reach arms overhead and fold. So our hands can rest on thigh, shin, or mat in our pyramid. So I want you to notice several things as you're folded in your pyramid. What's going on with your head and neck? You should be able to shake your head, yes or no. Noticing your hips. Okay, our hips, we're trying to bring them level so they're in alignment with each other. Our tendency is to lift the back hip, so we have to be very intentional with it. We want to stay soft with our knees and grounded through both feet, which means both heels, both balls of the feet are pressed into the floor or the mat. We're going to bring biceps to ears, scoop the abs, hinge up to standing. We're going to reach arms behind the back. So my arms are going here, reaching for opposite elbows. Good, and we're going to tuck the chin, fold forward. So again, staying really grounded. Noticing what's going on with those hips and knees. Chin is tucked. Good, remembering our breath. If your shoulders are really open, maybe you can lift your forearms up off of your back a little bit. up to standing. Good. We're gonna release the arms. Good. Go ahead and roll those shoulders. Now we're gonna work on half moon, which is a super fun balance pose. I'm gonna lead you through it. You go as far as you would like into the pose. Reaching arms overhead, we're gonna fold and bring our fingertips in front of our right foot. I'm gonna shift all of my weight into my right foot, lift my left leg to hip height. So this is the beginning of half moon, okay? So the next thing we can do is open our hips. So I've actually lifted my left hip and stacked it on top of my right hip. Next, shoulders. Same thing, I'm opening. And you can even reach that hand up to ceiling. Ooh, we might fall over. Good. So just practicing it, knowing it's okay if you come out of the pose or wobble. Good. I'm going to bring my left hand back to the floor. I'm going to square off my hips again. And I'm going to step my left foot back into my pyramid. Nice and slow. I'm going to walk my hands up my right leg. And then step that foot forward. And we're going to shake it out a little bit. The hamstring's probably feeling it. So again, feet parallel to each other. We're going to step that right foot back. Hips squared. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, folding. So we're just mirroring what we did on the other side. So again, we're relaxing head and neck. We're noticing what's going on with our hips. That back hip wants to lift. And we're going to do our best to bring it into alignment. We'll keep our knees soft, so that means we're not squeezing the kneecaps. And we're pressing firmly into both feet. Notice if you have more weight in the front foot versus the back foot, and we'll try to fix that. We'll bring biceps to our ears, hinge up to standing, and then reach behind us, reaching for opposite elbows again, okay? And then we'll tuck the chin, fold forward into our pyramid. So again, we'll do our best to keep that lower body in alignment. Relax the head and neck. If the shoulders are really open, we can try and lift those forearms up off the back a little bit. Good. Remembering our breath. Gently lifting back to standing. Good, so releasing arms. Now we're working on our half moon on the other side. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, folding. Fingertips come in front of left foot. Shifting weight into my left foot. I'm lifting my right leg up to hip height. So again, we want to mirror what we did on the other side. Okay, so we can stay here the whole time, or we can begin opening. Opening hips. Opening shoulders, maybe even turning the head. Good, nice deep breaths. Hold as long as you can, and remember, if you fall out, just keep trying. Good. Let's bring both hands back to the mat. Square those hips. Step that right foot back. Walking hands up the left leg. And we'll step forward and shake it out again. Good. Let's roll those shoulders out. So I'm going to stay on the wood floor because we're going to continue in our balance, okay? I prefer to do it on the wood floor. Take a nice deep breath in. Inhale. Exhale, bringing hands to heart center. Good. So we are going to put all of our weight in our right foot and lift our left knee up. Good. So just finding that balance, really strong through that right hip. let's try and extend that leg out in front of us. Hold it up as high as you can. Good. Bend that knee. Good. And now we're going to kick that leg back behind us, coming into warrior three. Good. So trying to keep those hips flat. Breathing. Swinging that left leg through, lifting the left knee one last time. Good. Good. Go ahead and release. So we're going to ground through that left foot, lift the right knee up. Good, finding your balance, staying really strong through the hip on that left leg. Shoulder blades pressing down the back. And we're going to extend that leg, hold it up as high as you can. Good, bend that knee. Good, stay strong, really ground through that left foot. Kick that right leg back, coming into your warrior three. So again, we'll do our best to keep hips flat. We're looking down at the floor. Swinging that leg all the way through, lifting the knee. Good, go ahead and release, and we'll shake it out a little bit. We're going to come back to our mat and get into our stretching now. So we've made it to the stretching portion of our class. So go ahead and take a seat on your mat if you're still standing. And let's just wrap the arms around the legs. We're going to tuck the chin, round out the spine. So we're just pressing the spine back behind us. Taking a couple deep breaths here. Good, and then releasing. Good. Let's stretch the right leg out in front of us. We'll bend up the left. So squaring our shoulders, reaching for that foot. So again, if you're not quite able to reach the foot, that's okay. You can rest the hands on the floor. We want to create length through the spine, so we're going to open the chest, press the tailbone back behind us, press the shoulder blades down the back. Good, we're going to gently lift. We're going to come into figure four. So we're going to cross this left ankle over right thigh, bring hands behind us, bend up that right knee, and I want you to really ground through the hips. Our tendency is to want to lift the hips up, and we want to really press the hips into the mat. Good, so we're doing a nice hip opener here. Okay, we're going to stretch this right leg back out, and I'm going to bring this left foot up high. So it's actually a half lotus. Okay, so we can come into this fold again, or for those of you who like to do binds, you can reach that left arm around you, reach for that left big toe. Let's gently lift. I'm going to step this foot over and come into a twist. So I'm going to bring that left hand behind me like a kickstand. Open the left shoulder, look towards the left shoulder. And really round through that left hip. Good. So as we slow down and begin our stretching, becoming more mindful of our breath. Good, gently untwisting. We're going to stretch the left leg out, bend up the right, reaching with both hands. So again, we're going to do our best to lengthen through the spine, flex the foot, press the shoulder blades down our back. Gently lift. Coming into your figure four, crossing right ankle over left thigh. Bring hands behind you, bending up that left leg. And again, we'll do our best to stay nice and straight and tall through the spine. Ground through the hips. Good, so we want to feel a stretch in the outer hip, just like we would in a pigeon or any other hip opener. So we'll go ahead and stretch that left leg out again. Bring that right foot into your half lotus. And again, either folding forward or coming into that bind. Gently lift, stretching that right leg out. Let's shake those legs out a little bit. Okay, so we're going to bend up those knees. We're going to come into cow face legs. So we'll bring left leg on the bottom, right leg on the top. So cow face, we really wrap those legs up nice and tight. We try to stack the knees. If the hips don't allow, then they don't stack. We're going to try and ground through that hip. I'm going to also add my cow face arms. Okay, so if that's too much, your hips are really tight or your shoulders are really tight, just choose one half of the pose to do, just the legs or just the arms. So adding my cow face arms, my opposite arm from leg is going to be on the top. Good. And we're going to hold here for several breaths. So again, if it's too intense, doing both the arms and legs and just choosing one or the other. Good, so again, staying mindful of our breath. Good, we're going to release the arms and bring the hands to heart center. We're going to come into our Turkish twist. So we're twisting to our right. Okay, if that's too intense of a twist, you can just bring the hands out wide like this and come into more of a gentle twist. But if you like that nice deep twist, pressing palms together, bringing the hands towards heart center as we press the left elbow into the right thigh. Let's gently untwist, and we'll unstack the legs and we'll switch them out. So right leg on the bottom, left leg on the top this time. Again, we'll do our best to stack the knees, keep the hips grounded. So this time the right arm will go on top, and then the left arm on the bottom for our cow face arms. And again, if you did just one or the other on the other side, we want to do the same thing on this side. So again, creating balance in the body. We'll gently release the arms and bringing hands to heart center. Coming into our Turkish twist. So again, if you did this variation on the other side, we'll do it on this side. Or if you brought hands to heart center, we'll do it on this side, okay? Let's gently untwist. And we'll release the hands. Stretch those legs out in front of you. We'll shake them out. Let's do some windshield wipers, bending up knees, dropping knees from side to side. Good, last one. Good, let's lean back on those elbows. We're gonna come into hammock pose. I'm going to keep my elbows and hands grounded. I'm going to gently scoot my hips forward just a little bit at a time until I can't go anymore and or I'm feeling a stretching in my shoulders. Good, so we're going to gently scoot the hips back and then lower down onto our backs. I'm going to stretch the left leg out and I'm going to hug the right knee to chest. Okay. Now I'm going to open that right hip. So I'm going to bring that right knee more towards my elbow maybe, opening the hip a little bit. Try to keep the hips grounded because this left hip will try to lift up. Okay, now I'm going to gently guide my right knee over to the left side and then reach my right arm out to right side with palm turned up for our spinal twist. So we're drawing that right shoulder towards the mat as we draw the right knee in the opposite direction. Good. Let's gently roll back onto our backs. You're going to need to even your hips out, so we'll do that. We'll stretch the right leg onto the mat, hug the left knee to chest. Now we'll open that left hip out to left. So again, just opening the inner part of the hip a little bit. Try to keep the hips grounded and staying connected to our breath. And we're going to gently guide the left knee over to right side. For a spinal twist on the other side, we're reaching the left arm out to the left side, palm up. And again, we're drawing left shoulder to mat as we draw the left knee in the opposite direction. Let's gently roll back onto our backs. So again, we'll even the hips out. And we're going to come into our figure four. So crossing right ankle over left thigh. We're going to pick those legs up, draw them towards the chest. And as we do that, we're going to press the hips into the mat. I'm going to reach through, and you can either grab onto the left hamstring or the left shin, and we'll gently draw the legs towards our chest. So again, as we're drawing legs to chest, we'll gently press the low back into the mat. Good. Head, neck, and shoulders are resting on the mat as well. Go ahead and release, and we'll switch out the sides. So again, holding onto a right hamstring or shin, we'll gently draw legs to chest, pressing low back into the mat. Just enjoying that outer hip stretch. Gently release. And we're ready to find Savasana. So closing the eyes and a gentle tuck of the chin. We'll tuck the shoulder blades underneath us. Relax the arms. Palms are turned up to ceiling. And traditionally in Savasana, we'll stretch the legs out, feet about mat distance apart, letting the feet fall out. But if it's more comfortable for you, you could draw the legs into a butterfly pose, or you could bring knees together, knees bent, feet on the mat, and then we'll take those feet apart. So just finding what feels best to you, especially for that low back. Once you have found your favorite Savasana pose, reconnecting with your breath. Again, we're inhaling and exhaling through the nose, allowing the low belly, rib cage, and chest to expand with our inhale and contract with our exhale. Doing our best to stay present in this moment. So if we find that our mind is wandering, just gently drawing it back to the present. Scanning the body, noticing if we're holding on to any tension. So we're going to start at the top of the head. So just relaxing all the muscles in your head and your face, the jaw. Notice if you're clenching your jaw and relaxing the jaw. Moving down to the neck and the shoulders and the upper back. Moving down the arms to the elbows, the lower arms and the wrists, all the way down to the fingertips. So just noticing palms are turned up, fingertips curled up. Moving down the torso, relaxing all the muscles around the rib cage, the low belly, the low back. Relaxing the muscles in the hips and the thighs. Relaxing the knees and the lower legs. The ankles all the way down to the feet, to the toes. Just enjoying the quiet and the stillness. Again, if the mind wanders, gently bringing yourself back to the present, reconnecting to your breath. back to an easy seated. So we're going to do this very mindfully. If the legs are straight, we're going to bend them up, placing the feet on the mat, feet and knees together. And then we'll roll over onto our side. Generally, most of us will roll onto our right side. And then pushing our head with our bottom arm. And then we'll take the palm of our top hand, press it into the mat, and begin lifting up to our easy seated. So back to our easy seated, legs crossed, hands on knees, palms can be up or down. Roll the shoulders back and down. Good. And we're going to do a nice gentle neck roll, dropping right ear to right shoulder. And then we'll gently tuck the chin, rolling around to the left. Good. Nice deep breath here. And then gently tucking chin, roll to the right. Good. Take your time. And one last time, tucking chin, rolling left. And gently bringing your head back center. Inhale, let's reach arms overhead. Exhale, bringing hands to heart center. And I thank you all for practicing with me today. And I say namaste.